Hey guys, it's the Chad, your C10 truck nerd. Well, I'm sure there's a bunch of you guys out there that still have cars and trucks that are wearing its original paint or a respray from 20, 30, maybe even 50 years ago. Well, back then that single stage paint, it was pretty dang tough, and man did it look good when it had a shine. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you for less than 20 bucks how you can take your old worn out chalky paint like this and make it look like new again. Newish. Yeah. Well, over the last year, it's been my honor, privilege, and maybe just stupidity that I've gone through and pulled a bunch of old 67 to 72s out of fields. Well, I'm sure most of these trucks haven't been washed in years, let alone waxed in probably the last decade. But the cool thing is, if these trucks have any paint left to them, I can usually get them to shine. Today we're going to be experimenting on my 1969 Chevy C10 that we call Donna the Donor. When I picked this old girl up, she was nasty. She was covered in moss, mold, and a whole bunch of barnacles. If that sounds anything like your truck, don't be surprised that you're not going to grab the old buffer and some polish and make her shine again. You do got to start somewhere, and usually that's with some soap and a wash mitt. Really put some elbow grease to it. But if you're not cutting through all that grime, you're probably going to have to move to the big guns, and that always kind of makes me excited because I love these. The old soap-filled SOS pads. These things are awesome. Well, if your paint's not that bad, I don't recommend that you use these steel wool pads because you're going to put a lot of small scratches all over the paint. But don't worry about it. We're going to be able to polish these right out later. So I'm getting ready to start parting out this old C10, and I want to get as much money for these used parts as I possibly can, but I really didn't want to spend any money to do that. So I decided, hey, why don't I just go through and give it a nice polish and a wax? To do that, I'm going to be using my Turtle Wax compound polish and my Meguiar's cleaner wax. To take it off, I'll be using my Old Faithful Makita buffer. The reason why I chose these two products were I already had them in the garage, and I don't want to spend any more money. But truly, these are two good products I've been using over the years, and they are very budget friendly. I think they're less than 10 bucks a piece. Now, I know a lot of guys are going to be out there going, well, you got to buy a 3M or you got to use all these certain stages. Hey, I get that. But like I said, I've been using this on single stage paint for years, and I've had a lot of good success. Just wait till I put some down and run the wheel over it. I think you'll be surprised. Now, if you guys don't want to spend the money on buying a power buffer or power polisher, I get it. Just reach out to some of your buddies and see if you can borrow theirs for a few days, or maybe you can even rent one. I know they do make attachments for power drills that you can put on. I'm just not a huge fan of those because it's hard to control the RPM, and I like to have a handle as I'm running this wheel down the side of the truck, but it's an option. So another question that may come up is, should you use a wool pad or a foam pad? Well, that's kind of a personal preference. If you have old worn out chalky paint like this, I'd tend to go with the wool pad because it's got a little bit more bite to it. I like using the foam pad more as a maintenance polish, or if I applied the wax by hand, I like to put this on the old power buffer and it really takes it off pretty quick. But the choice is yours. Before we get going too far, here's my quick disclaimer. I am not here to show you guys any type of expert buffing skills, nor will I be using the most high-end products. What I will show you guys is how to lay down some budget polish on some old worn out paint and put the buffing wheel to it with medium pressure until it shines. If you need some of those expert tips, there's tons of videos out there, or I can make one in the future. Now, to get started, the first thing you need is an old towel or a sock and get it damp, rub it in your polish and spread it out over a 1 or 2 foot square area. That way the polish can't dry up before you get to it with the buffing wheel. Once you get that small area done, you can just continue on with the entire hood, fender, door, roof, whatever it may be, until you've got the entire truck all polished up. Once you're done with that, then we're going to go back with a good hand wax until we get everything finished up. So let's get started. So I put it on pretty good, but not super thick. And this paint's really going to want to absorb that. So I always try to buff in the same direction, either front to back or side to side. So after one quick pass with the polish in the wheel, look how much shine has already come out. So let's continue on with the rest of the truck. Well, I'm not gonna lie, this turned out way better. I mean, way better than even I thought it was going to when we got started. It is pretty sad though that we have to part this truck out because she's looking so good now. I am gonna encourage you guys to go through and put a coat of wax on once a month or every couple months until you get several layers built up. Paint like this, it's just old, dry, and chalky, and it's just gonna wanna absorb all that wax. So if you want it to stay shiny, you gotta do the maintenance. I'm gonna have to hurry up, it's gonna start raining in a minute, so.
Dad, could we be in it real quick?
Okay, get in here. Why not? Come here. Whoop. All right, look at the camera. So that's gonna wrap up our $20 driveway detail job. We're able to go through and take this old worn out chalky paint and make her shine again. If you guys got any cheap tips and tricks to bring old paint around, type down the old clickety-clack, and while you're there, hit that like button and subscribe. And make sure you check out my other 67 to 72 videos. Coming up real soon, we're going to be blowing Donna to pieces. We appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.
Can we go to our fashion show now?
Let's do it.